Heavy seasonal rainfall since mid-December has caused the worst flooding in decades in Malaysia, with floodwaters reaching as high as 3 meters in Kelantan state. Now that the waters have begun to subside, city volunteers of the Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter immediately mobilized relief supplies to tend to the flood victims' needs.
Weeks of heavy monsoon rain in Malaysia have sparked floods in Kelantan, the worst the country has seen in a decade. The worsening flood situation has triggered panic among local residents as they scramble to withdraw money at nearby ATMs. Hotels in the district were also fully occupied by flood victims unwilling to stay at evacuation centres.
The price doesn't matter. Even if there's no water or electricity, as long as we have a bed, it's okay.
Residents flocked to supermarkets to stock up on food. Within a matter of minutes, the shelves were almost empty.
There isn't much food left on the shelves. They're almost empty.
Amid the anxiety and panic, kind-hearted people like Nasri delivered aid to help the flood victims.
This is for the people at the evacuation center.
City volunteers also mobilized to purchase items for distribution, and the store owner was fully supportive of their efforts.
I know this food is going to people who need it most. People are anxious they won't get any food.
Wang Kangwei, whose family was spared from harm, immediately joined volunteers in the rescue efforts.
I'm okay, although I feel a little tired. However, I'm glad to help others.
Chou Qingxu decided to help others in spite of his own plight. Facing the worst flood the country has seen in 30 years, volunteers took the opportunity to invite local residents to lend a hand.
Are you willing to join us?
Volunteer Huang Xinhua even brought his children to help out.
Do our best to help as far as we can.
Although many of those currently staying at the evacuation center know about Tzu Chi, however, we want to give them the opportunity to help their own community members.
During times of adversity, love is what brings people through the most challenging and difficult traumas. Now that the waters have subsided, all that remains is debris and litter.
We tied this hose pipe around our waists and climbed down one by one. At the time, floodwaters gushed through the street, and soon the water level was rising. There wasn't even enough time for us to pack before we were forced to leave.
Parts of Guangmasang were heavily flooded since December 21st, with water levels reaching 3 meters high in the city center. Roads have been cut off by floodwaters and residents have been left without water and electricity.
It was really bad. The cupboards in the kitchen, the fridge, everything fell over.
As soon as the waters began to recede, volunteers from the Tzu Chi Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter quickly mobilized to deliver their care and blessings to residents in Guangmasang.
The villagers have been without water and electricity this entire week. The entire city center and houses in the village were completely engulfed.
The volunteers' presence has eased the pain and brought comfort to the 600 families affected by the flood.
Malaysia is battling some of the worst floods in decades along its east coast in the wake of the northeast monsoon season. And in Kemaman, one of the worst-hit districts, Burmese refugee families were left stranded in their homes without food and water for 2 days. To help, the UNHCR branch office in Malaysia turned to Tzu Chi volunteers for help.
Torrential northeast monsoon rains have caused massive flooding along the east coast of Malaysia, leaving boats as the only mode of transportation. Flooding in Kim Amen, one of the worst-hit districts, reached one-story high, and some Burmese families were left trapped in their homes.
Some Burmese refugees in Kemamen have been trapped in their homes. We think it is because they don't have boats, so we rented 3 small boats and brought them to safety.
On Christmas Day, 10 Tzu Chi volunteers from Kuantan arrived in Kim Amen to rescue these refugees from harm.
We also arranged for transport to pick them up and take them to the temporary shelters. They told us they were stranded for 2 days without any food or water.
Apart from organizing hot meals, volunteers also settled these refugees at the government-run temporary shelters. As the rain has yet to stop, Tzu Chi volunteers' care will also not falter.